So, Dr. James Kim, brother.
Thank you. My name is James Kim. I was born in Korea, not just Korea, in North Korea. I used to go to soccer game with the Jong-un, Kim Jong-un, his grandpa. When it comes to the playground, they announced the great leader Kim is here now, something like that. So I know he's there. He was very nice personally, but this guy, the younger one, is just an undisciplined man. He was sent to Swiss to learn. I don't know what he has learned. To kill the people or what? Yeah. I just tell them how I learned who the Jesus Christ is. My hometown is about 25 miles from Pyongyang. So when you finish your middle school, you go to high school to the Pyongyang city through the train. We have a train back and forth. The town I was born is more likely farmer's town. My father was a farmer and then county officer. So he was not educated too much. We didn't have any choice. So he was more type of leader, the county. If they have something to ask, they always came to my father to ask. The communism came after 1945. For a couple of years, it wasn't bad. So we used to joke, why you guys are meeting every night? To steal, to kill somebody? You know, we used to joke like that. But when the time goes on, became 1950, no. Their meeting was usually on Sunday to block us. So we cannot go to church because purposely they do that. They are meeting on Sunday. So we had a very difficult time to go to church. But I learned my grandmother was a terrible Christian. What that means is she doesn't know how to read, but she has no doubts of anything about the Jesus. So she says, let's go to church. I say, I don't want to go. Then I'll be in big trouble. She can hit. You know, in Asian countries, they can hit with anything. So I was hit with the whips in the school. And my mother asked me, what happened to your back of your leg? I said, the teacher hit me. You know what she said? What did you do wrong? They never blame the teacher. Teacher is always right. So we respect the teachers. Anyway, my grandmother was a very strong Christian. How she became? The farmers, summertime, springtime, autumn, that time, they worked hard, but wintertime, they have nothing to do. So they gather one place, they play card. So my grandfather was involved with them. He was a rich man, about 3,000 acres of farmland, but 8 mountains he had. And he didn't know, my grandfather didn't know what's going on. They teamed up to kill my grandfather. I mean, you know, they did that, so my grandfather lost everything. I think if they do the playing, they don't know what to do. So all night they didn't sleep, and then my grandfather lost everything. He didn't come home. He left the town. I never seen him. So my grandfather had a very difficult time. At the same time, the American missionaries came around that town. They just said, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you will be okay. So my grandmother wept. It wasn't easy for her. And then she just took us to the church. Our church was very small, not big. I don't know, about 15 people, 20 people sit. We didn't have any pastor. Pastor comes once a month with a donkey. We were lucky that he comes there, and most of the time the elders, deacons, they taught us the Bible, so we knew what the Bible is. That's the way I was learned about Christianity. But after the communism came, it was not easy, very difficult time. So 1950, the Korean War began, and I know that the communist people became so strong, and we don't want to do anything under them. For me, they like to kill people who is rich people, who are the rich people and well-educated and wealthy people. Our family was one of them. So we had not much of a chance to do anything. So my father told me, you follow, when they see the American troops on the nighttime, the beam, the light beam goes to the north. But about October, November at that time, the beam goes to the south. So my father was telling me, go to the city, find out what's going on. It's something not right, something wrong. So I went to ask the people, why do they do, American United Nations, the people, why do that way? They said, you know, they are not saying much. They can't. So my father told me, okay, I'm the first son, so you follow the young people who are armed so that you cannot kill, and we're gonna meet you. Our family meets you certain city they named. So I followed the younger people who are armed. And when I went to that city, we promised to meet there. Millions of people were there. So I cannot wait for my family. So I followed the people to the south. So it took about a month from my house to capital city of South Korea. It's Seoul, Korea. And I am very lucky man. I have met wonderful people. I had no place to go, so I went to church. And then I tried everything, ice cake, ice cream. I used to make ice cream. I used to sell the spoon and clothing and everything, newspaper, shine the shoes, everything. And then somebody said, if you go to American people, like a GI, you may have a chance to go to America. So I said, well, I don't know my life is like this. I will try. So I tried. I went to, if you want to go to American people to join them as a labor, you have to know the interpreter. They are Korean people. But they are not taking you all. I did ask her, somebody speaks language I saw, the interpreter. His language sounds like my hometown. So I said to him, can you take me? You know what he said? He said, okay, come to see me on lunchtime at the restroom area. What that means, you prepare the money and give it to me. So I always carrying a month's supply of money. I with the knife and then put a month's supply of money in there and so back. So nobody knows what that is. So I met him at the restaurant. He said, what can I do for you? He said, he just said, it's not easy, but there's a way to be chosen money. So I gave it to him, money. He said, okay, then I was waiting the name, you know, Kim, Lee, Park, or something like that. My name was the last. I thought I wasn't going to elected or chosen by them, but they did. So I went to the American truck. The GIs came and they used all beautiful language. You know, it's so damn cold, the goddamn, take a leak or drink the mud or something like that. All beautiful language. You learn the good language first if you work with them. So I learned all those, but everybody was chosen their place to go to work. KP, I didn't know what the KP meant, KP or motor pool or whatever that is. I was sitting behind and I was the only, didn't have anything. And somebody, big guy came, his name was Sergeant Carlson from New York State. And he grabbed me like a, you know, a man grabbed a monkey like that. What's your name? I don't know what he's saying. Your name, Kim or Carlson or Nelson or whatever. So he took me to the headquarters. And one of the officers was there. He was very nice. And he was trying to teach me English. I slept overnight in his tent. He was a second lieutenant. And he wanted to teach everything. And he buys the textbook. He was asking me what kind of book you want. So English book and math book and Christmas time came. Everybody was sensitive, you know, homesick like that. And then I was crying and they were asking, what do you want? Why are you here? So I told them I want to go back to school. And they collected all the money. And the lieutenant was, he became my brother. He did everything for me. He took me to the big city and looking for the school, and he was ordered to come home. So he put me in high school. So when I went to high school, again I went to church with my brother, Peter Campbell. He was a teacher, English teacher, and he was drafted. That's why he came to Korea. And a pastor was Pastor Han, who was a friend of Billy Graham. So he said, young man, why don't you stay with me? We have a school, we have a high school, we have everything. So I said, where can I stay? One of the orphanage. I told the Pastor Han, I cannot live with the orphanage people. I know who they are. I can't do that. So he found out a nice place. I don't have any money to give anybody. Somebody said, okay, you stay in my house and go to school. So I did. And you know, if you don't have parents, you don't have money, you don't have brother, you don't have family, nothing, and then you know your future. You gotta work hard, otherwise you will become a street gangster. What could you do? So even if I go to the restroom, I had to have my textbook, reading the textbook. So it was okay, the school time, but I had a problem because I'm from North. We learned the Russian language. They learned the English. English hour, I entered the first year of the high school. I was second year of the middle school in North Korea. I don't know how I managed it. Mathematics times sine, cosine, tangent, I don't know what they're talking about. So I had to go to nighttime school. A year and a half, I could follow them, that's okay. So I studied hard, and a lot of people helped me. So, third year of the senior high school, I thought, I talked to my teacher, I will be honor student. If I cannot, you can kick me out. First semester, I made, from 80 point, it's 89 is an honor student. I couldn't make 80. So I thought I was gonna be kicked out. Almost made it, but at the end of the high school time, my grades were okay, so I had to apply the pre-med. The Peter's mother used to ask the church, her church, and to help me. We have a Korean boy, and he doesn't have anybody. We'd like to help him, so they helped me from the high school I graded. And then college comes. I did study hard, pre-med, and then I applied to medical school. It was not easy. First time, of course I go to church, and then I passed the written exam to entering. It was 1 to 19. You have to beat the 19 guys, you get into the medical school. So, written exam was okay, but the interview, I had the vice president of that university I didn't know who he was. I can see his name, Dr. Kim, on the desk. He said, how could you come this kind of school? You don't have money, you don't have mother, you don't have father, you don't have house, you have nothing. This university, the richest university this country, this university is the highest kids can come. When they come here, they have a higher ranking, their parents, money or smart. You don't have anything. He was threatening me. I thought I was flunked. And then what do you want to do? So, you cannot come to this kind of school. So I was thinking, I don't know what to answer. I stopped everything, and then I said to him, Dr. Kim says, yeah, I believe in Jesus Christ. He was almost shocked. And so, if I accept you the medical school, what you gonna do? Making no money or whatever? He says, sir, I like to be the medical missionary, like Schweitzer, his name, from Germany. He's got about 5 degrees, and then went to Africa. I read that book, and I went to be Albert Schweitzer. I said, Schweitzer, you know him? He said, yeah, I read the book. I like to be like him. I said, okay. So he said, when I said I believe Jesus Christ, wow, he was surprised. Not many people can say. That time, I know I didn't plan to say that kind of thing. Who told me to say that? He did. I know. How could I say, I believe in Jesus Christ? I had no plan to say that, but he managed my mouth. And so I went back to my pastor, associate pastor. He said, how come you came to me? He said, well, I think I flunked my oral exam today. Interview was horrible. Why are you saying that? He almost made me like a dehuman because I didn't have anything. So I cried and everything. I don't think I made. Who was the interviewer? Dr. Kim, vice president of that university. He called. He said, let me have Dr. Kim. He came out and said, who is this? Yeah, this is Pastor Kim. Everybody's Kim. And I think they know each other. We went to same church. That was the largest Presbyterian church in the world. About 50,000 members. And what can I do for you, Pastor Kim? Said, Dr. Kim, I sent my son like a boy to you today for the entering exam. You made him like a dehuman. What's his name? His name is Jim Kim. And they stopped talking about a minute. He said, Pastor Kim, I can flunk everybody but him. That I know. I am the first one passed. Usually they let them know about 3-4 weeks later after the exam, but I know that day I was passed. So my supporter is nobody but him.
Amen.
I do know, I believe in Jesus Christ. He was surprised. So That's number one. And that made me for sure I had no doubts about him. And I learned then who he was. He was a number one Christian, all the professors. And he comes to the school and he picks up all the cigarette butts and everything. He's a vice president. He does like that. And I studied hard, but I didn't graduate number one, but 16. Ashamed myself, but it's okay. So I made all those kind of people. I met him a couple of times when I was 7 years old. I was going to the church. I was a bellyache. All of a sudden, I couldn't walk, and I sat down. I prayed, Lord, it's so painful. You cure me. When you are 7 years old, you don't know much about anything, but I prayed him, make me okay to go to church. He did. And then second was in the medical school entrance. Third time I met him was when I was doing I was selling the candy. On nighttime, it was about November, end of November. Nighttime, everybody has to go home 12 o'clock, otherwise they will arrest you. I don't know what do you call that. About 11:30, somebody came, and I was crying, thinking about my future. I wasn't that bad in North Korea. It was a rich family. I'm thinking for the future, I don't know what to do. So I was crying, and some man stopped. They said, young man, why are you crying? When I see you, I think you have a bright future. And he said, all of the candy, wrap up candy, and then he gave me big money. So I was trying to changing the money for him, and he disappeared way out there. And when I saw him, he was dressed up with white. So I know that wasn't a man. And I talked to my wife. I saw that kind of thing. What do you think? He said, he was not a human being. He was a God. I believe it. That was third time. You know, that way, you have no doubt now you become more and more religious because you experience that kind of thing. And then I wanted to come other country like US number one, if not Canada, if not England, if not Germany. So I want to get out from that country. Any country, no country is perfect, but the politics, I didn't like it. So I'm not gonna die here, I gotta go to some other country. So when you wanna come to the US as a physician, you have to pass the exam. The AMA gives the exams, including the English test. that was, I didn't know what I was expecting, and one of the embassy, American embassy in Korea, they came and they read, they give the paper and they read, and then they said, read about 5 minutes, but they question, where did he started to walk? Where did he go? You know, something like that. The reading is like that. He was out and he was going to school and got to turn to the right side or something like that, and you have to know what he was telling us. You're right. Anyway, I passed. I came to U.S. I went to internship in New York State. I wanted to go to Peter's parents' place nearby. I finished my internship and resident was in Chicago. Again, I all church in St. Luke's. And then I applied seven hospital for a surgeon. I wanted to be a surgeon, cardiac surgeon. At the one place was OBGYN, and they picked me up, OBGYN. It's a class A school, medical school. So many American boys was very jealous. How come you're here? You not belong to here. Well, I told them many American doctors were drafted to the Vietnamese War. And then when they saw my application, I was already trained for 1-year surgical residency, and they could use me right away, so they picked me. A lot of candidates were there, but they knew if they hired me, they could use it right away. I finished my residency. I went to Mayo Clinic, 1972, Rochester, Minnesota. And of course, I was trained by the American missionaries in Korea, so I didn't have much problems to sing. The problem is when you come after your age 14, you have difficult to learn the English. When you become an intern, you don't have problem. First year resident, not much problem. Second year, third year, when you become a chief resident, you are in trouble. You have to write English to the company, to the insurance company, to the people, something like that. But when I dictate them, the secretary types up, and she brings up, I read it, beautiful English. I said, oh my gosh, I speak that much already? No. She correct, and then I have to sign and then send it out. Anyway, so I promised with him, I will serve you for 2 years. I don't know why I said 2 years. After I practiced 31 years in Chicago area, about 40 miles west of Chicago, our town was the last town from downtown Chicago to here. West of us was all cornfield and agriculture stuff. So I learned a lot American people, what do they do? Go to Baptist church, and the church people say, Dr. Kim, come to my house. And when I went there, they are all farmers. You pick the corns as many as you want. And then when I come back home, and then they come and they say, you do this, and then you dip it in hot water, and then put in those corns like a Ziploc like that. And then you can eat until Christmas time. I learned all those things. A lot of things to say, but I don't know. I wasn't quite ready to write or anything like that. How could a boy from 16 years old became a physician, come to U.S. and work at the Mayo Clinic? It's an impossible thing to do it. I am like one of a million boys. Yeah. When you think about it, what do I know? One day, my office was, I did ask the administrator, I told him my office would be on second floor so nobody can get in, break in like that. So closest to the hospital and safe place, he gave me second floor. So it was in springtime when I came out, when the rain was drizzling. I said, stand by and look at the people coming in and out. I said, someone said, where are you now? What are you doing? What do you want to do? You want to make the money? You want to help the poor people? What are you going to do? He was talking to me. He said, okay, my interest to become a mission work. So I promised him I worked for him at least 2 years. I practiced for 31 years and then I decided forget about everything. So I applied my mission to the the branch was American Baptist, northern part of American Baptist. And then they came and they asked me everything, even write your fate about 3 times. So I did and said, oh my gosh, I think you are the best one who writes that kind of things since our school was built. What do you think? I'm just graduating my seminary for this year. So they have chosen me to go to Africa. But at the time, my wife was very sick, so she had to stay at least, if you want to practice in big city, about 2 hours flying, so that if they have something, they can call us, we can come airplane 2 hours, so they can change the kidney. And so it was difficult to do that. So I wanted to do mission work, and they told me the African people, they had to shoot everybody. So I said, I'm not going that country. So I came to Phoenix. Somebody suggested come Phoenix and ask. And I went to Indian hospital, and they asked me what kind of surgery you do there. Or I can do anything for female, scopes and anything, hysterectomy and everything. The hospital I was trained was the first American hospital who could do hysterectomy from the below. That's the first. That's why I have chosen that hospital. I learned there everything. Our chairman was the first man who invented tying the tubes, fallopian tubes, not to be pregnant, from below. We don't have to cut here. So I learned those things, and when they had the interview with me, what do you know about this and that? I said, I do the scope every day, maybe every other day I do hysterectomy. And then said, you do all that? I said, yes, I am. You come to work on Monday. So that, and then we had to go, we had to cover 140 tribes, the Indian hospital. So then we had to go to like 2 hours airplane. I have chosen nobody wants to go that far, so I said, I will go. So they chose me Hopi Indians. So they don't have to specialize the people. So I am certified for the OBGYN man, so they always called me nighttime, daytime, anytime. So I had a wonderful time with the Indian people. I teach them, they taught me, they showed their cultures and everything. So I wanted to work for 2 years, but it became 6 years. So I worked for them for 6 years. It was interesting, like a hit. You know, when you go to Germany or Czechoslovakia and Romania, not easy because of the language. Here, when you go to Hopi, sometimes the Navajo people come. They are old, 80 years old, 85 years old. Younger people use the English, but old people, sometimes they don't know how to speak English. They bring the niece and daughters and, you know, those people coming. So it was very interesting to learn different type of people. And so as a Korean, you know, I'm from Korea too, so when I wanted to be mixing with them, so the nurses always have a lunch together themselves. But most of the doctors who work with the Indians, they are white. And then I'm the only one not. So I tried to mix with the Indian nurses. So I opened the door and then I go sit down with them. I said, well, I have a lunch with this, you can try mine. I can try yours, something like that. And they said, Dr. Kim, you are different. What am I different? Well, other doctors don't mix with us, but you do that all the time. Said, I look like you, and I like to know about your people. And so we became very close. So we liked each other. I said, can I come here and build a church and I preach? And then you don't have to pay a dime to me. I will do free service for you. Oh, why don't you do that? When I came home, I said, I like the Indians. After I finished, I go to the Indian there. And I told them not to give me a dime. My wife said, you said the wrong thing. You have to have money from them. In the Bible, the Peter, take a look. He does anywhere, then he has to have some money to do something. You tell them how much you can give it to me, you can give it to me, not free. So, okay, I made a mistake. And that kind of thing. And one day I was taking a shower when I go to the Indian mission. I said, Lord, what is the mission? He answered to me to my left ear, he said, my son, mission is your life. Give it away your life. You know what that means? Not easy. Give up your life. Yeah, that's the mission. I was lucky that I go to Hopi Indians. They don't kill anybody, but you learn a lot. When you go to other countries, you know, it's not easy. They can kill you. A couple of my school alumni went to Moscow, near the Moscow, to do that kind of thing, mission. And some of the people came to kill him with the dull equipment, and then they told the Russian police they didn't care anything. They don't even investigate anything. We didn't invite you. You people came, and you know it happened like that. So not easy. Like when you go to Philippines, they don't have much protection either. Philippines, as you know, most of them are Catholics. Some of them are not. They are Muslims, right? They behave very difficult. They are weird people. And my plan, if the Lord give me a second chance, I like to go to North Korea. The beautiful church was built between Russia and China and Korea, triangle. If I want to go there, it takes about 4 days to get near there. But if that place, if from there to the hospital, it takes a month. I don't know why. The same people, Korean, communist country. But still, I want to do that. If the Lord give us to unite, North and South, as you saw all the news, they have a talking now. It's nothing but propaganda, North Korean people. When they're hungry, they always ask, I want to talk to you. President Obama, when other, former president, they went there, they gave the money to, I don't know for what. They drink and they dance and they make the weapon. That's why they have the nuclear weapons now with that money. Now the Trump, he's not that easy. He said, you guys don't do that kind of thing. But still, they do that. But what I think the current talking South and Korea, I don't think they will do anything. When they're hungry, they always say, we want to have a meeting with you. Why? They want to have something to eat. They do. And then just watch what the South Koreans people will do for North Korean. They will give them money to eat. Those money is not going to the people. They give the money to the army, or they use that money to making the weapons, like nuclear things. That's what they're asking us to have the meeting. I don't think that they will do much, but they are talking about Olympics together, South and North. I don't think they have well-trained. They don't have anything to eat. How could they have it? Look at the Russia now. They can't. They don't have anything to compete with the other country, except ski or something like that. But my viewpoint for them, they are not going to do much to do it. I want to go back to my country there. We always say, oh, we go to Africa and we want to do this missionship like that. Why not I go to my country? I can talk with the Korean language, even though it's very difficult. If Lord let me go, I will. I like to teach them. If I go and teach them, they always write. They don't have any typing or anything. Write it. They are knowledgeable because I teach them, and then they can promote, and they go to big city. They teach the people, and they do the practice of medicine. So that's what I want to do. I want to do mission just in my country. This is my country, but that's my former country, who we can communicate with our own language. Why? I don't have to go to Africa to do that. They need like me. So I called the Canada and North Korea has a better relationship than anybody else. And I asked them, can I go there? They said, yes, you can come. But they know I am a physician. I'm a pastor, but I cannot preach anything. All I can do is showing the love. And some chance come, then I can. My one purpose go to a seminary was, I want to go back home preach. That was the main thing. Still I'm waiting. It's not coming. I hope it's coming in the future. I will do that. Your name, you will see my name at the time. He went to Korea and he teach the people and he does everything. They don't kill the doctors, not at all, because they don't have doctors. If the doctor goes there, they keep them until they die. And that's what I want to do. That's okay, they can kill me. I'm not going to coming back with alive. No. When I go there, I will die over there. When I ask them, yeah, you can come to your hometown, but we cannot guarantee your life. So that's it. I know that I have no amount of doubts about him.
Amen.
I don't. My grandmother taught me. I saw the people I have experienced. He showed me a couple times, I know. He talked to me like, mission? Mission is your life, like that. When you want to go to medical school, what do you want to do? I know Jesus Christ. He is my strong supporter. Nobody can do it for me. He does. That's it. Yeah. Sometimes I can have more time to talk about some other things like that. So I will do. All I can say is, once I was finishing the Indian hospital, nobody knows I am a pastor. And I emailed everybody, I say, if you go out to the society, if you quit this hospital, if you do have your Lord, you will be successful. If you don't, you are not going to be successful. So then, once I was walk in front of the administrator, he said, James, said, what? You come to my house, my room. Said, I went in his room, said, are you a pastor or something? Why are you saying that? You emailed to us, everybody. You sounds like you're a pastor, are you? I said, yes, I am. No wonder. He said, if you are with the Lord, you are not going to be fail. If you want to be, without him, you're going to fail. So you know for sure. Trust him. He's there. He is there. He was there yesterday. He is today. He will be with you tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He's like our pastors, Alpha and Omega, Omega, Alpha. He's today, yesterday, tomorrow. Always. I trust that. That's all I learned. My experience. So let's do that all.
Yeah.